Hello and welcome to Hockey Time on Memory the Video Productions. I'm
Mike on the wing, centering pass, backhand score!
Go in, Scooter with it, sends it across for Kane, and it's in the net, and they have a power play goal!
The other point, big shot, right on, and the glove Neil having words with Campbell, and now Mario steps in there, and now all chaos breaks loose.
Faces to center right, where he is bombed by his teammates from
Hello and welcome to Hockey Night at PISA, brought to you by Memory to Video Productions. I'm your play-by-play man, Dean Cornelio, joined by Pat Higgins here tonight for the broadcast. Alex Gerber and Justin Cowett running the cameras for us here in this production. And tonight we bring you F2 Deck Hockey Championship Round games. This is Game 2 tonight between the number 1 seed KnucklePuckers and the number 6 seed LEI Shockers. And they've had an unprecedented run here, Pat, that we need to talk about, because this team, after their regular season, you wouldn't have expected this from them. No. They were 3-7. They have been outscored by a plenty, and their goaltender played well, Mr. Chapman. He's held them in games. They're in a lot of low-scoring games, but to come back and win a quarterfinal and a semifinal round game in the playoffs against top-seeded teams, and stopping 97 of 98 shots to get here, unprecedented. The Puckers did win Game 1, but the Shockers are here really on merit on what they've done in the playoffs so far.
Yes, and you said Chapman has led the way with theirs, saving 97 of 98 shots through the first 2 rounds, had an 88% save percentage in the regular season. He knows how to play goalie, and he has shown that in the first 2 rounds. If they're going to have a shot at winning this tonight and forcing a Game 3, he's going to have to step up.
And when you look at both teams, the Puckers, clearly they're the top seed. They've outscored teams by triple this season.
Yes.
They're 9-0-1. They have 1 tie against them, if you even want to call that a blemish. They've played together. They've had a set unit. I think they've been here consistently. And it's built chemistry for them, quite frankly. And that's been a huge difference in them, quite frankly, overtaking some teams early and then cruising in the rest of the games. They've really been a juggernaut offensively.
And we've seen their speed coming into key a lot, too. Their speed is what really kills teams, able to get in front of the opposite team and skinning an open shot on goal. Let's see if they can do that tonight, and I'm expecting them to do that.
And the Shockers, again, they've played this team. They played each other 3 times, the Shockers and the Puckers. The Puckers have won all 3 games, including Game 1, which was 3-0 in Game 1 of the finals. So the Puckers win tonight, it's over. The Shockers need to win to force a Game 3. For the Shockers to win, this needs to be, I believe, knowing how scrappy they are and having played against them personally, they're scrappy. They need to win games low scoring. We said they don't score a lot of goals. Their goaltender keeps them in games. They need 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 games. Their first 2 games, quarterfinal, 1-0 win over LaChance. Their semifinal, 2-1 double overtime win to get to the finals. So that's clear what they need to do. Now the question is, against the Puckers team that's going to come at them, will they be able to do that?
It's going to be interesting to see, but like you said, they need a scrappy win, so they're going to have to play great defense in their own zone, and like we said, Chapman is going to have to step up like he has done in the first 2 rounds of this playoff.
So it should be a good one. We expect another close one. Again, neither team wins by a huge margin, but so we expect a good close contest for you tonight. Can the Shockers force a Game 3? Will the Puckers, in just their 2nd season, win their first team championship? We'll be back. Opening face-off, Puckers and Shockers. That's coming up next. Sponsored by Memory to Video Productions. I'm your host and play-by-play man, Dean Cornelio, joined tonight by Pat Higgins on the call and Alex Gerber alongside of us behind the camera. We also have Justin Cowett down behind the bench, where he's bringing a closer look to the action from his perspective. Tonight, we bring you an F2 Deck Hockey matchup, Game 2 of the championship series between the Shockers and the KnucklePuckers. Shockers wearing the white, KnucklePuckers in the dark uniforms. The KnucklePuckers had a great regular season. The Shockers just managed to get into the playoffs, and man, have they gone on a playoff tear, completely unexpected to their credit. In Game 1, it was the KnucklePuckers with a 3-0 victory. The Shockers need to win this one to force a decisive Game 3. That shot was stopped by the goaltender, Nick Bonadise, who gets the start for the Puckers. In net on the Shockers end of things, it's Matt Chapman right in front of us here wearing the white number 40. So again, the KnucklePuckers 9-0-1 in the regular season, and they've continued their winning ways in the playoffs. The Shockers had a 3-7 regular season, managed to get in the 6th spot in the playoffs, and then who knows what happened. They had an epiphany and just started to win and get their usual defensive work. They're great defensively, but they've had trouble putting the ball in the net. And they upset LaChance 1-0 in the first round, and they upset the Dragons, the top seed, in double overtime, 2-1 in the semifinals to make it here.
And Dean, you just got to say, both these teams have, first off, great names. KnucklePuckers and Shockers. And the thing is, in these 3 games that the Shockers have played against the KnucklePuckers, they've been outscored 11-2. So the Shockers got to get something going here. Just like you just said, get that game 3 and win this championship.
They can't afford to give up 3 goals and expect to come back because they're not a high-scoring team. They've relied on their goaltender,
and they're going to have to shut down the leading goal scorer for the KnucklePuckers. That is Jeff Connell, who is really good. In the regular season, he led the league in goals and points.
That's right, icing here. 14 goals, 23 points. And the KnucklePuckers, they're a team that's only been in existence for 2 seasons. And last season, they were tied for last place at 3-7 overall in this F2 division. They completely turned it around. And one of the reasons is Condell, and another reason is Dennis Poulter. Condell, as you mentioned, led the league in scoring, 14 goals, 23 points. Last season, Condell, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. Poulter, who wears number 3, had 5 goals and 14 helpers this season. Last season, a goal and 2 assists. So you talk about a turnaround, you talk about offensive output. They've gotten it from those 2. Mitch and Sarah, the captain, also always a threat. And the Puckers with it now, down right in front of us. Centering pass. Stick tied up in front. That was Bonadies' brother, Rob. In front. Glove down. Bonadies wearing 20 here backhand. Wide to Chapman.
And this is what the Shockers want to do. They want to keep it out. Playing good defense right now.
Duncan will wind and fire, and he's got a good shot from that right point and an equally impressive stick save.
And this game's going to come down, like you said, you don't want to give up more than 3 goals. So Chapman's going to have to really step up here to help force that game 3. It's going to go through him because he is the goalie.
Well, if the first couple of games are any indication, Pat, he stopped 96 of 97 shots to lead the Shockers on this historic run at this point here. So it's often been said in hockey, you get a hot goalie, it can take you places, and I think this is a case in point.
It's another great story in sports because you never know what's going to happen.
You just need to get to the playoffs, right?
Pretty much. Look what the Warriors did last year.
And you're from Torrington. That's called T-Town. I think it's Titletown.
No, not at all.
That's what it means.
Not at all. Not at all.
Chapman will cover on the side of the net as the Puckers continue to keep play down low with Mariano Kagan and 76 Kenny Boss as the forward unit here for the Puckers.
Again, great name.
I think Ed Sarah will take credit for coming up with that one. Something tells me. Mullen on the face-off in white, won by the Puckers and slapped wide. Good play by Chapman to glove it as right in front of him was 76, the boss man.
And we have seen the KnucklePuckers really push the puck on Chapman so far. He's doing a great job in net right now. Let's see if he can keep this up for the rest of the game.
Well, if he stopped 97 or 98 coming in, he's used to about 50 shots a game.
That's good. That's real good.
So, here's Randy Michalek. He leads the team and probably the league with 8 penalty minutes, number 85 in white. Had 4 goals, 6 points on the season. He's all over the score sheet. Goals, assists, and penalty minutes.
Now,
That's
which
usually
one?
the Gordie Howe action.
Now, which one I wonder is the best to him? Which one does he like the most?
He is a bruiser, so I'm thinking he's proud of the 8 PIMs. And there he is, threw it in front. Mariano played it, looking for Kagan, and instead it was taken over. Now the Puckers regain control. Again, you got to watch the offsides here in deck hockey. That is the center line, for those of you less familiar, as it's kept in. Shot wide. To the right point. Walking in, shooting one over the net. Another try, short side, Chapman the save. And no penalty there. John Venditti, the official, waves it off. And that is Michaelek, and he clears the zone. Craig Poulter with it, the defenseman. Mullen in there. Mullen has speed and White there. Derek does. He brings speed and tenacity to the game. That shot never reached the goaltender. Now the ball bounces towards the front of the net. Mullen off the side of the cage.
And Condell's calling for it in the back. You see him hitting his stick on the ground. He wants a shot.
Of course, I don't think Mullen would want to get it to him.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a shot coming the other way. And that one hits a leg, and Chapman will cover as Dennis Poulter, again the second leading scorer on the team.
I sort of like that right there, Dean. Maybe getting in the head of Chapman there, going right up to him. Playing some mind games here.
Can't give him a snow job because it's only on the ice, but you can intimidate standing over him, I guess.
I know, I'm not going to lie, that was good. I like that.
They do that in Torrington, I hear. Tom Salamino tries to clear, wearing number 67 in the white here. He goes after the corner against number 20. And that one. Send down Connor McDonald there first against Dave Payne. Payne went scoreless in the regular season, number 30 there. And he has 2 goals in the playoffs for the Shockers. So talk about scoring at opportune times. He's done it. Ball bouncing in front. Shockers trying to get an opportunity here. Clear to the line, not out. Kept in by Salamino. Turning and firing Zidlow, but he couldn't get it on net.
A good battle right here.
And a penalty on Ponte. A rough will be the call. So the KnucklePuckers with 3:31 to play in the period and no score, so they're far the KnucklePuckers.
And it was only a matter of time before he got that. They were scrapping down here a little. Good play. And he goes to the penalty box. It happens.
The KnucklePuckers did have a power play goal this season. This KnucklePuckers team outscored their opponents 33-11, tripling the total in the regular season.
It's very impressive there. They have an offensive machine here.
And really, defensively, you're only allowing 1.1 goals a game. Not many teams are going to beat you. Their only blemish, the only tie, was against the Blue Line Bombers. If you want to call that a blemish, that wasn't even a loss.
Still undefeated, technically.
Exactly. Kagan's shot was stopped by Chapman. And it's cleared by Salamino. Bonities will leave it for Craig Poulter.
And so far, Dean, the Shockers are playing great defense right now, not giving the KnucklePuckers anything to go on so far.
And that's dumped down. Over the line, and he put himself off sides. He put his feet in first. That's always a tricky call. 13 seconds left on the power play, 2:44 to play here in period 1. Again, the Shocker squad, last season they went 6-4 and finished 3rd. Very respectable showing. Chapman was outstanding that season. 93% save percentage and a 2.0 goals against with the 6-3 record himself. This season, they struggled to score. They lost Chris Galusha this season. He had 6 goals and 13 points last year, and he led the team with that. And they also lost one of their speedy wingers, Andrew Tizzo. He had 7 points. He's not here to add speed to the lineup, so that hurts. Speaking of speed, walking in, Chapman has an answer on a great opportunity, probably the best of the game so far, by our friend, Mr. Condell.
And Condell knew we missed one right there. As you see him go right behind the net, he had a smile on his face like, oh, man, I missed that one.
Absolutely. Hasn't missed too many of those this season.
Like we said, scored 14 goals. Led the league.
He's got a few individual trophies. Tonight, they're open for the team one. In just their second season of existence.
And imagine winning the championship in your second year of existence. That must be exhilarating.
Well, they may find out in about 28 minutes.
Which one of my teams could have done that?
22 minutes.
Wish I could have just made the playoffs, Dean.
You're from Titletown, though. I think you're really not playing up your accolades, but I respect that. And Mr. Chapman will cover up this season. I mentioned his stats last year. Due to some of the changes, he's allowed nearly more, 2.875 goals against, so almost more than 1 goal more a game. Save percentage still at a very respectable 88.7, but his overall record himself, 1-7. He has 1 win. The backup goaltender, Pont, who I believe is the one, yes, he took the penalty. He played a game and goal. He got a win. And they had 1 win by forfeit. Those were their 3 victories. Slapper, stick save by Chapman. And that was Aaron Duncan with the opportunity. Dunks joins the Puckers for the first time this season. He was a good addition. He came over from the Vipers squad, and I was proud to call him a teammate, but the Vipers, our schedule didn't work out for him. He came over to the Puckers, and he's been a great addition for them, playing half the games in net, the other half on the back line, where he's a big asset. And Cerro in front of the net. Couldn't get a stick on that. Cleared out by Santo Pizzo. Santo might have a chance, and Nick Bonadies with the cover. Nick and Aaron Duncan, a great, really excellent goaltending tandem to have. If one can't make it, the other one steps in like the number 1 goaltender. So they've been fortunate to have the Puckers in that respect, aside from all the scoring we talked about that they were doing. Face off to the goaltender's right. To the line, not out. Rister goes wide. Here's an opportunity by Zidlow. Duncan with it.
And you can hear the bench of the Shockers right now really going nuts, wanting to get on the board first here, trying to get their teammates pumped up.
Cherry on Mariano. Zidlow took a spill, but over his own teammate's stick, as that was Tom Salamino. He's a bruising defenseman. Having played against him, I can tell you that. But sometimes he even gets to the way of his own team. So, Mariano drop pass. Zidlow takes the shot, blocked at the defense. Under 30 to go, first period. Still no score.
Shockers doing a great job right now in the KnucklePuckers zone, trying to get something happening here in the end of the first period.
Looks like the Puckers are content to run the clock out if they can for the last 10 seconds.
That's some good exercise over there.
Connor McDonald doing a great job keeping the ball between his feet. Salamino has some time, takes the shot, body is the save, and with 1 second left, we get a whistle. No, time runs out. So they run off the extra second, and that will do it in the first period, a period that was scoreless, but really some good action at both ends. We saw the Puckers, as they have this season, Pat, really controlling offensively down here for a number of minutes, but when the Shockers got their opportunities down there, they also were able to gain some ground. I don't know if they got nearly as many shots on Mr. Bonadies. However, again, if they can keep it close, that's all they want to do.
I think the highlight of that first period was Matt Chapman, Dean. He took everything and kept everything in front of him. Did not allow a goal, and they had a lot of shots on him in that first period. So going with that, let's see if Chapman can keep that up. But to me, he was the star of that first period for the Shockers.
Just to back up your point there, Pat, the KnucklePuckers outshot the Shockers 15-8 in that period. So nearly double them, as you said, most of the action in front of him. Hey, 15 shots he's going to average. That's 45, close to 50. So he likes to be busy down there, from what we understand.
Hey, it goes by faster when you're busy, just like work.
We also have to tell you that tonight's game is sponsored by Dude Wipes, disposable wipe products manufactured by Dude Products, personal care brand based in Chicago, and a personal favorite of Alex Gerber, our cameraman. Dude Wipes featured on Shark Tank earlier this year as they secured a deal with billionaire Mark Cuban.
Gotta love it. And who better to secure that with on Shark Tank than Mark Cuban? Come on.
He's probably needed a few Dude Wipes himself. Anyway, that might be the too much information, the TMI variety. However, we are ready to go here in the second period. And Cero at center for the Puckers. And ball's dropped. Here we go. Shockers control the face-off. Quick shot right on Bonnet. He's a save, and Cero clears to the line, not out. Left point, sent in deep. And another good keep in there. Michaelek lost it, and Cero clears, and they do have speed. Dennis Poulter's in there first. Tried to center. Chapman would not allow any loose junk in front of the net, even though Mr. Encero was charging, as he usually does. Had a lot of speed, does Mitch.
And that's Chapman's 16th save on the night.
In the first minute of play here in the second period. Face off to Chapman's left. Encero and his teammate jumped. Condell. They're already quick. I don't know why they think they need to jump offside. I mean, come on, you got to give the Shockers a chance. Come on now.
Remember, like Dale Earnhardt said, Dean, second place is only the first loser.
Sent down, and that is going to be no icing. It's waved off, and Bonnet was going to play it. He thought it was icing. Smartly, as Mullen runs into him, he smartly played it around to the other defensive Poulter and cleared. Good idea to try to get it over to Condell. Cero, top the circle. Can the Shockers clear? They do. It gets by the defense. That's David Dzinski. Gets by Dzinski. Nice pass in front. Shot on. Bonnety's the glove save, and he holds. Good save there. Point blank opportunity by number 9, Santo Pizzo.
And Pizzo went over to him, too, and gave him a fist bump like, nice save. It was beautiful.
Santo, if he wanted it back, got another chance, so he probably would have wanted a little bit more on it there. Mm-hmm. He flipped it towards the goal. I think he probably wanted a little more wood on that, but nonetheless, a shot on goal anyways. Condell is one of two players, along with Kenny Boss, who we mentioned, Boss 76 tonight. Condell and Boss, that shot. Oh, the ball is loose, and it's worked just wide of Bonnety's. That's Boss there in the corner. Get to my point in just a minute. That one right through the crease. Good work by Matt Zidlow. The Shockers also have speed. They don't have a lot of natural finishers, but they put the ball on net. They can get some bounces to go their way.
We've seen a lot of speed by both of these teams, especially in Condell for the KnucklePuckers.
For F2, these are two quick teams. There's another chance for the Shockers. He scores! And a great shot and goal by Dave Payne. I mentioned Payne with no goals in the regular season. That makes 3 in the playoffs.
And that third one comes up clutch right now in a game that they need. They need this game to move on to the game 3, and he got it right there. Gives them a 1-0 lead here with 7:54 left in the second period.
Stick side on Bonnety's high, and it's 1-0 Shockers. Kagan will flip it down. Reno Ponte back there. The Shockers with a lead are dangerous. I mean, because they're so defensive in nature and used to the defensive game.
Yes.
This is their game.
And especially,
they just want one or two, and they're content.
And especially with Chapman on fire so far tonight, he's not letting anything by him. So the KnucklePuckers got to get something going here if they want to get back into this game.
Kagan has to wait. He does so smartly. Remains on side. Put it just missed that short side there to Kagan. Kagan has 4 goals, 5 points on the season. Parked himself on the left point there, hoping for a pass. Working behind the net, though. Again, Zinlo is Mitch and Sarah. Salamino also in there to help. Duncan back there, also good work by Boss to keep it in, but they finally clear the zone. Duncan had the stick knocked out of his hand. No call. Duncan looking for a call. That shot blocked and cleared by Condal. Condal makes a move to the middle. Drop pass and Cero. 2 good players that they want with the ball. Duncan's got to watch out. Player behind him. Duncan will smartly play into the corner. Condal. Patient. Cycles low. That's in Cero. 6.5 to go. Through the crease. Laid down by Connor McDonald. Duncan. And they thought it was out. Apparently not. Shot, and they score! So Dennis Poulter puts it in. The Shockers upset because they thought that ball was out of play. So Poulter from Duncan, and that's a quick answer, Pat. Just under 2 minutes later, and it's tied up.
And we're back to a 1-1 game now here, or up to a 1-1 game now. It did look like that ball might have been close to being out of play, but I think it did hit right underneath. So it was close, but it was still in play.
I think their contention was it's got to be above the purple. It's not around the red dasher. It was definitely above the red dasher, but I don't believe it was above that purple. They played on, and I think the Shockers partly stopped, thinking it was going to be a whistle.
They stopped for a minute, and it cost them a goal.
So that one ends up getting by Chapman, as not many have. So it's 1-1. Now again, the pressure really back, I think, on the Shockers. The Puckers have game 1. They don't need to win this one. The Shockers do, and they're not a high-scoring team.
I agree with you. I wanted to make that point too. Is the Puckers the Puckers took game 1. So if they do lose this game, you still have another game. But they want to end this right now.
No doubt, and they don't want a loss on their season because they've played so well, too. There's a point of pride a little bit, I'd say.
Yes.
I mean, any of us who have played sports, you want to finish that kind of deal.
I just want to win.
Winding and slapping, that was blocked, another slapper, and that one is a whistle over that went over the purple line, even though both of these loved it.
And you can hear the Shockers saying right now, was that one out? Trying to make their point there. It's not going to go back and take away the goal, but they want to put it out there saying, hey, what's up with this? They just want to make their point heard.
When is there a game the referees don't get mimicked, though? Come on.
I've never seen a game. I don't think so. I used to mimic refs. How I never got thrown out of the game is a miracle.
Maybe you just you conveniently misremembered the time you did.
I purposely looked away when I did it.
If you weren't thrown out, you were red carded. Come on now. Sent down by 42, Jorge Bastos for the Puckers against Michaelek. Michaelek, 85 in the white. Again, the penalty leader. Proud of that distinction, although there's no trophy for that. Mullen sends it to the point. Defended by 42, Bastos.
And we've seen so far, Dean, the Shockers, whenever it gets into their zone, they're playing very good defense. They're getting it out quick. They're not giving the Puckers a lot of opportunities to get any shots on goal tonight.
Behind the Shockers net, slapped around and not out. Now a little help, and that one changed direction, so a whistle with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the second period.
And a great thing about both these teams, Dean, is they're deep. They got a lot of players on each team, so at every whistle, they can put a fresh, new lineup out there, a new line change for them, which that's why we've seen so much speed, I think, too, because they're able to get a good breath when they go to the bench.
You're right, so many times, especially here and in deck hockey in particular, you have less than 8 guys and at least 1 or 2 subs for each on D and offense. Just slow. You might be good up till this point, but then it just slows down, and then generally the other team would take over.
Especially in that last period, the third period, where you need to go all out.
It happened to our team, certainly, and it's happened to others. But again, these guys, Shockers, hot at the right time. So, a juggernaut defensively. And really, that last goal, when you think about it and talk about it, they slowed down thinking there was going to be a whistle. So they weren't even at full speed when that goal went in. Not an excuse, just a fact.
And speaking of full speed, the defense they're playing right now, look at them, have the Puckers up on the board trying to fight for that ball. They know their season's on the line right now, and they're fighting to it.
And that one, Chapman kept it out. Connell on the backhand. Has a man in front, and wow, Chapman got a cross. Not sure if he got a stick on that or if it's the side of the net. We can't tell from this angle.
Got to give him a lot of credit.
I'm sure Mr. Cowett down there has a better angle with a second camera for us. And we do get a whistle, so the puck is underneath those 2 players. So again, F2 playoff action here. Game 2. The Puckers won Game 1, 3-0. They remain unbeaten this season, just a tie in the regular season. The Shockers trying to pull off what many thought was impossible after a 3-7 regular season, winning a quarterfinal game, a semifinal game, and trying to complete the unexpected and unprecedented ride through the finals.
And who doesn't love an underdog?
This is true. Well, I played against them, so I don't, but that's just me. But that's personal.
You're biased. Biased.
I am slightly biased.
I like it. I like it.
Well, I'll admit, too, after our season, I could have used a few dude wipes. So, it was not pretty.
And speaking of that, tonight's game is sponsored by Dude Wipes, disposable wipe product manufactured by Dude Products, a personal care brand based in Chicago. Dude Wipes featured on Shark Tank earlier this year as they secured a deal with billionaire Mark Cuban. Gotta love Mark.
What's that down at Alex Gerber's feet? Oh, never mind. He is a fan, self-proclaimed. Thankfully, we don't have a mic on him because I don't know how the comeback would be on that, but we can guess what he's thinking. Shockers. Here's Mariano trying to get it out. It remains in. Now another opportunity. They get it out. 42. That's Bastos. Mariano in white gets it on the wing. Poked ahead by Salamino.
Look at both of these defenses right now. It's back and forth right now. This is some good hockey.
Not much give there in the neutral zone area. Really not. A lot of back and forth. Slightly over one line, slightly over the next. That, however, is no question icing. It's not called decking here, but there's plenty of other decking in terms of other terms. But icing the call.
And a whole new lineup is coming in for the Shockers right now. Like I said, both these teams very deep. Each of their lineups can get, or line changes can get a good breath when they go to the bench. So pretty much a whole new crew on there for the Shockers.
And you got to think maybe what will propel these guys to the playoffs too is a full lineup, because given their history, their season, they couldn't do it without everyone, and maybe they were playing shorthanded throughout the season.
Great example outside of the hockey world is the Warriors. Look at their bench. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Game 2.
Yeah.
Sean Livingston, a beast.
And it's picked up by Craig Poulter. He'll take the shot. It was blocked. The defenseman, Craig Poulter.
Let's see if the Puckers can get away from this great Shockers defense right now.
Mullen battling with Boston there. Mullen looks like he's going to get a penalty as the goaltender's holding the call. So holding. Holding the call on Mullen. He did have his arm up around the neck and a little too long for the official's liking, so
He looked a little disappointed going in the penalty box for a slam the door there. Don't think he was in total agreement with that call, Dean.
most people aren't when they get sent to the sin bin.
Oh, I like that.
So, KnucklePuckers, second power play tonight. Insero and Poulter. To the point, Duncan winding, firing. Also in there is Condell, so they got a great line out right now to the Puckers. Duncan, he's got a shot. Condell looks up, takes the drive, and it's loose. Chapman. I don't think that's going to count. We get a few sticks raised, but again, I don't see any official pointing towards the goal. So Chapman somehow keeps it out of there with a number of Puckers, pardon the pun, in front of him.
And what a great
Those
job.
darn Puckers, I'll tell you.
There's darn Puckers. But again, what a great job by Chapman, who was on fire tonight. It's only giving up that one goal, but we said his teammates sort of slowed down thinking it went out of play on that goal that the KnucklePuckers were able to score tonight. But he is leading this team for the Shockers right now and really is stepping up in a game that they need.
Face-off will come to his left. 1 minute, 21 seconds to go, second period. 39 left on the man advantage for the Puckers. Duncan with time to play it out of the zone, but getting a little lazy and picking up on that with a shocker. Duncan with a stick lift on Michaelek. Michaelek, oh, he had a man back door. That was Moschini, 27. That's a great name, Moschini. So the ball went out over the glass, and the face-off will remain where it was sent out.
Another lineup change for the Shockers. And another factor you can look at in this game is that for the KnucklePuckers, number 55, Jeff Condell, has played pretty much the whole game with number 3, Dennis Poulter. So that might come into effect going into the third period.
Definite chemistry that's developed here. This is one of the better units in F2 period with these three on a line together. But I forgot to say before, Condell, along with Kenny Boss, are the only two Puckers to play all 20 games in the franchise's existence. 10 games last season, all 10 this season, plus playoffs, so they have been mainstays.
Wonder if a fatigue's going to come into play going in the last period too, Dean.
I don't know about that with the benches full. I don't see that these guys can go. And again, having played against them, nice stop by Chapman, got a piece of it. Having played against them, I've seen them run by me plenty of times. And Chapman again has the answer on that shot with 9 seconds to go to keep this a 1-1 game.
And another save by Chapman.
Puckers will try and get a late opportunity here.
You got to be careful with that name too, Dean. It comes off bad sometimes.
Especially if you put the word like mother in front of it. But anyway, we're not going to go there. And offsides with 4 seconds to go. Mullen again, frustrated after coming out after serving his minor penalty.
And you can see the emotion on each player's face. Both of these teams want this game. And they are fighting hard on the rink to get it tonight.
You know, F2 is a lower division, but there are still some skilled players that play in this division. And at times it's not given enough credit. For some of the players that play here. And time runs out in the second, so it's going to be a good one. It's going to come down to the last 10 minutes.
And we wouldn't want it any other way.
So 1-1 going to the third, and you know, in terms of what to look for, I'd say the Puckers continue to use their speed and create those chances. Look for the Insero line along with Condell to be out there a little bit more to try and finish this off. Shots in the second period again favored the KnucklePuckers, 13-6. Two-period total, 28-14. So they've exactly doubled them. So part of the reason we see kind of the shot discrepancy, we've seen, a lot of it's a lot of action in front of Chapman. And yes, they've had good defensive stands on the Shockers, but again, they need to find a little bit more offense, and let's see if they can get it. They're just going to need to create a break for themselves and capitalize on it.
They are.
There's not much sustained offense by the Shockers. There's bits and pieces and spurts, whereas at times you see the Puckers with a little bit more sustained time in the Shockers zone. Mariano. That goes off the side of the Puckers net. They need to capitalize on something like that. Mariano to the point. Higgins there to intercept. Nice backhand pass. Salamino lift on it, and they're delayed offsides. They have to wait for it. Kagan back to his D. Up the middle. And we get a whistle. That got by Jorge Bastos. So face off to the Shockers side of center.
Mullen again coming back onto the rink for the Shockers.
He's one of their quicker players.
Along with Pizzo.
Dean Cornelio, Pat Higgins with you here from Plainville Indoor Sports Arena. F2 Deck Hockey Championship Series. Alex Gerber, Justin Collette behind the cameras for us.
Good battle right there.
Coming in front, trying to stuff it in. Chapman will pounce on it and not allow any further opportunities with Kenny Boss on the side of the net.
And I've said it through the first two periods, Dean. Chapman has totally impressed me tonight with all his goaltend play in that net. He has saved pretty much everything, only giving up one goal. So he is really stepping up tonight for the Shockers.
Loss against Mullen, and Mullen wins it. That was 27-15. He'll take a shot. Bona needs to save.
That's what they need to keep doing.
Yep. That's how they generated the first time. That's how they have to generate again.
They got to push it.
Michael Eck, forced by Kagan.
Nice spin move.
Bastos, now Michael Eck. Michael Eck and Bastos battling. Michael Eck the size advantage. Hit the official DeLuca. They took a favorable Shockers bounce though. And to Pizzo.
As Condell comes back onto the floor.
Oh, we nearly caught a break there. Slapper is blocked. Cero couldn't get it through. So now it's Cero. Condell. Again, we see them out together. Slapper just over the net, missed short side on Bonity, stick side again. That's how they scored the first time. Michael Eck winding shooting. Still kept in. Slapper. Glove down, now it's sent back in by Mullen. He'll come and change, complete a line change, get a few fresh bodies out.
Payne coming back into the game for the Shockers, who has scored their only goal.
Michael Eck lost the stick. Puckers get it up the boards and outs. Cero. Mitch, an upper division player himself, has played at much higher levels. introduced this team to deck hockey last season, and one season later they're in the championship. So, with a few personnel moves and roster adjustments. Boss over the line, and whoops, that was just over the scorekeeper's booth.
Olay!
And how to play with 6:39 to go here in the third. Still only 1-1. It was Payne for the Shockers and Dennis Poulter for the Puckers, both in the second period of play.
And this game comes down to one thing: great goaltending.
Both goaltenders are solid. It's gonna take a good shot or a fortunate bounce to beat either one of them. They don't let in many weak goals. So you can say that on both sides.
And tonight's game is sponsored by Dude Wipes, disposable wipe product manufactured by Dude Products, a personal care brand based in Chicago. Dude Wipes featured on Shark Tank earlier this year as they secured a deal with billionaire Mark Cuban. We all know Alex up here is raring to say something.
Dude, look at that one. He wants to wipe us right off the camera right now, really. Here's an opportunity. Chapman plays it aside, smartly came out. And now he'll cover. Again, Chapman is active in the net too, which is important, especially for the odd man rushes because of the Puckers' speed. He's got to be active when the Puckers are getting behind his defense, and be the last line of defense that he is, and play it aside and come out and make sure he covers, even if it means 3 or 4 steps.
And he can get back quick too. If he takes those 3 or 4 steps, he has the agility to go back to the other side and help secure that puck or ball.
I think we know if the Shockers were able to come back here. That was a blocker save. Who the MVP would be for that?
Oh, easy to guess there, my friend.
Backhanded in by the goal scorer, Payne. And Salamino got a stick up high. No call there. Shot on. Chapman got the paddle on it.
As we saw there, he was able to secure it, then go to his right real quick to get into good positioning like you were just talking about.
And the thing that's smart is not only does he make the save, but he's able to direct the ball to the corners.
Which is key.
Not in front of the net. You put it in front of that net, and the Puckers have players that are going to pounce on it right away.
Especially with that, especially with that ball whipping right at you.
Right, and they get good position, and they're quick enough to get there. But Chapman hasn't afforded them the opportunity to get many rebounds in front because he keeps directing the balls to the corner. So if he keeps doing that, the Shockers have a chance.
Now we're getting down to the later stages of this period. 5:38 left here in the third.
The Shockers trying to sneak out with 6 guys there, but one ran off so that they wouldn't get called for too many men.
They don't see.
John DeLuca, the referee over there, has been on a deck team of mine. You know, we try all sorts of tricks we could try, so don't blame them.
What's the old saying? If mama don't know, it won't hurt her.
And if the ref don't see, it won't hurt anyone. That one blocked. Machini lost control of the ball. Now into the Shocker zone. Good work. Pushing it ahead. Nice play by Chapman to get a stick on it. Like a defenseman, he was able to get it now the whistle. He was able to block the pass and get his stick in the passing lane, because if that ball gets through, Mitch Incero's on the back door, and I'm sorry, that's probably in the back of the net.
And your point of him directing the ball really came in key there, as you saw him push it back behind the net so they couldn't get a rebound.
If he pushed it back to the corner, it could have potentially, but he put it right behind where nobody was.
That was a great example of your analysis a little earlier.
And that one cleared by Reno Ponte. Stick save Chapman. Whoa. It's a dangerous bounce. The Shockers can ill afford anything like that. And that slapper, that was a knuckler by Santo Pizzo, and it really surprised Bonadies. Nice drop. shot, short side. And Sarah looking. Need a man to get open. The Puckers need to move here because they're standing still. They're not going to allow Insero much movement. Now Insero gets the return pass just off the end of his stick.
And that whole possession came down to the Shockers wanting to move more, just like you said. Them getting around and getting to the puck. Whereas you saw the KnucklePuckers were just standing around.
Right, they stopped.
Exactly.
When you stop like that, you make it very easy for defense, especially in deck hockey, to gain position and be able to not allow a pass through or clear the zone. 3:56 to go here in the third. The next one's going to be huge as time is working its way down. The Puckers haven't played many OT games either, given their dominance this season. They've beaten the Shockers 3 times. They had to beat the Blue Line Bombers 1-0 to get here. The Shockers, again, with a win over the Dragons in the semis, in double overtime, to advance to the final. Centering pass by Boss. Chapman, stick, played in the corner. That's dangerous. That hit Higgins' foot. He wasn't sure where it was for a moment, so he couldn't get a good shot away. And now we see them icing it a lot more, a little bit more, with allowing the Puckers, again, more possession time, more possession time, more possession time. And the Shockers are going to have to be careful in doing that.
That was a good move right there, though, Dean, just to get it out of play, because you don't want to give the Puckers that little opportunity, that little open, wide part of the net, maybe put something in there. Getting it out and resetting.
That ball, Duncan put in the corner, Kagan in the working against the defense, and that gets by the left point man of Connor Michaud. Bonadise comes out, plays it around. Here's Mariano. In front, the one-timer right on. Bonadise, great save. That's one of those chances that the Shockers, again, almost made good on. Now Mariano tries to put it short side. Bonadise has made a couple good saves here to keep it 1-1, especially that one-timer. That could be the key save here late, depending on how this game goes. Chapman, no rebounds. Loved it, held on.
And after the great save by the KnucklePuckers, Chapman comes out with a good save of his own to stop it right there and get a new lineup for the Shockers coming on the floor.
Each team does have one timeout, and we should note the timeouts in the playoffs are longer than regular season games. They're allowed, once they take a timeout, they get a full minute timeout. Normally, regular season is 30 seconds. So it's double the time. And, if the players are tired, if they want a last minute, run for it, if you will, they may decide to use it, they may not.
That extra 30 seconds can come up big.
Right now, neither team's interested in that. 2:44 to go. Third period. 1-1, both goals coming in the second period of play. Mullen will take the face-off for the Shockers. Backhander, and Chapman made the save. That rebound squirted away from him. One of the few rebounds he didn't control, really. But he still was able to put it in the corner.
Better be lucky than good.
Michael Eck. Sometimes those cliches and sayings definitely come true in this sport. Michael Eck, I think he got a little stick check, did Mr. Connell. And that doesn't feel good. That is the dude wipes variety right there. So, but he gets up and he carries on.
And you can see Condor on the floor right now. He's feeling it a little. See it in his face.
I can understand why. But that's why Condell's obviously a smart player and he's done well for himself.
And he's tough.
but not wearing a cup, I don't know about that decision. Probably not one of his better ones. Just over a minute and a half to go. Both teams finishing up their line changes. Mullen going for the Shockers. Puckers with a few fresh bodies. That's not a good clear by Michaelek. And Cerro trying to get a shot off smartly, plays it to the point, and that shot wide of the net. A good opportunity. Here's Cerro. Got a man in front, trying to get it to him, blocked by the D. That was Mullen. Mullen actually stayed on the floor. Pizzo over the line. Held up by number 11, Craig Poulter. Nice slash. That's not. Oh, that is going to get called. I didn't think that'd get called there in the last minute. And Venditti puts his arm up, and we have a penalty.
And Mullen does not like that call, Dean.
He said puckin'. I'm telling you, he said puckin'. He was referring to the other team. So the penalty on Pizzo.
Another line change here for the Shockers in the final minute of play.
So now, if you're the Puckers, this might be a great time to use a timeout. 49 seconds left, regulation, and they're going to take it. So
They must have heard
talk
you.
it over. I used to play with Mitch back in the day, so he understands. But no, they're going to use the time to regroup, put their best five out there to win right now. Why go overtime when it's sudden death?
And you
Finish
have
it off now.
a 5-on-4 advantage.
Exactly. So this is essentially sudden death at this point with 49 seconds left in regulation. The Shockers just got to worry about getting the ball out here and holding down the fort as they've done so well throughout the season, really. Again, defensively is not their issue, especially with how well their goaltenders play. So the Puckers get the 5 they want out there. And Cerro trying to direct traffic. The faceoff will come to the goaltender Chapman's left. DeLuca will drop it between Insero and Sidlow. Final 49. Puckers on the power play, and that goes into the Shockers bench. Making sure they're awake over there. Chapman shouts 49 of those, so hey, if 49 work, that'll take care of the time. Still in, no, now it's out, and good work by Payne. Really a pain for Connor McDonald in that instance. Salamino's got a shot, he doesn't use it. Instead he plays it low. Duncan with his usual flip. Here's a good opportunity, and Chapman a great save. Rebound, no, Chapman keeps it out. What a stop by Matt Chapman. How that didn't get in, I don't know, and neither does Mitch and Sarah.
I put up my hands right there, Dean. I thought it was going in. And Chapman had a great save right there. Holy moly.
Pat, the first rule, there's no cheering in the press box.
I'm just saying, that was great.
But I understand. One back to the point. Rister right on, got it through. Chapman to save. 13 to go. Salamino so smartly able to kill some time, keeping it between his feet. And time is going to run out after that good work by Tom Salamino. So Salamino kills the last 12, 13 seconds. So we're going to get a 1-minute break, and then there's going to be sudden death overtime. We always love bonus hockey, and we are going to get it. There's 12 seconds left on the power play.
Which will carry over into overtime.
Yeah, and the teams will switch ends. Normally in the regular season they do not, because it's just a 3-minute overtime. In the playoffs, however, it's a different story. They put 10 minutes on the clock, and how do we play we've talked about the disparity in shots. The third period,
The KnucklePuckers outshot the Shockers 16-6.
3-period total, 44-20.
More than doubling it.
Yet,
Whew.
again, Chapman's averaged 50 shots. This is nothing new to him.
He's used to it.
This is just goal protocol. And some goalies play better with more action. And,
It's true.
And he might be one of those. So, and I'm sure they're happy to be in this predicament, 1-1 again. How exciting would it be for the Puckers to score in overtime to win it and to clinch the championship in sudden death overtime? Conversely, the Shockers would like nothing better than to force a game 3 here and put the pressure then on the first place squad. Here's a shot. Stick save. Rebound is there. And Chapman covers. Boss got a stick in there. And penalty time runs out, so we are back to full strength.
Another great save by Chapman there here in sudden death overtime. Gotta love it. Who doesn't love some sudden death?
The team that loses, maybe?
That's also a very good point. Didn't even think about that. He got me. Touche.
Being from Torrington, you're used to coming up on the losing end, you said. So, you know,
Let's not
you
talk
told me
about
it doesn't mean Titletown, as I tried to bolster the town for you. But Pucker's still with it. Left face off that. Boss. Salamino defending closely. He doesn't give you much room. Salamino will get right in on you. Backhand pass in front. And it's going to be cleared out by Payne. Payne, he's quick. Shockers back on sides. Slapper is blocked. Boss has it. The Shockers side and center and dumps it in. Clear to the line. Blue line. Mariano gets it out. Boss had to get back on sides. That shot just missed short side. Couldn't get across. And now it's cleared by Bastos. Side of the net, Chapman will further it along. Didn't have much help there with him. Fought his team a few more seconds. Look out! Oh, great chance for Bastos to end it. And Chapman said no. Chapman, again, living up to that goaltender, has got mid-90s in save percentage. Tonight it's even higher. Puckers still control. Mullen, one of the guys with speed. And it's flipped. That may have hit something because not sure why it would have otherwise been blown. It was gloved by the Shockers.
We saw Condell there for the Puckers getting a little frustrated, hit his stick on the ground. Maybe thought they got it in there with no gain after a great opportunity right in front of the Shockers net. Shaking his head a little. Knows they missed one there.
Shockers, the 6th seed going to middle playoffs at 3-7, are a goal away from forcing a decisive game 3. Duncan with his ceremonial flip, except this time the flip came back to bite him. Right back at him. That's a set play for teammates of Aaron Duncan. They know to go because he's going to flip it, and if they got speed,
they're going to go.
Blow right by the defense. This time he uses the far wall, and again Condell trying to bust loose. Could not. Short by about a step. Now they're back in. Insero, it's Insero, Kagan, and Condell. Again, that we've seen Insero and Condell out there together. The winger, the other winger, in this case, Kagan, look out. He flipped it smartly towards the goal. There's a chance. Oh, it rolls just wide on Condell. Wow, that was
pulled over him right there, too.
Looking for a penalty. That play started with a flip by Kagan right here, and he'll do it again, throwing it on net. Just makes a simple play. You're always told throw it on net. He will right here, and he just missed the upper corner. So good shift here for Kagan with Insero and Kondo. And the Shockers cleared out of danger. That's about as close as anyone has come.
That's 2 times now they've been able to get it out of there when the Puckers had a good opportunity.
That hit Duncan's foot. That shot, a stick save by Bonity. Slapper blocked by the defense. Duncan will take it and play it softly off the boards. Michael keeps it in. Mullen, the other red helmet. Here's a flip. Bonity's, whoa, and that one thrown right back in on his goaltender by number 5, Connor McDonald. That was dangerous. That almost rolled right between the wickets.
But right before that, McDonald had that great job putting his body on the line and saving that puck to secure no goal for the Shockers. Having another line change here for both teams.
Face off to Bonity's right.
And tonight's game is sponsored by Dude Wipes, disposable wipe product manufactured by Dude Products, a personal care brand based in Chicago. Dude Wipes featured on Shark Tank earlier this year as they secured a deal with billionaire Mark Cuban.
Pat, every time you say that, Alex Gerber has a big smile.
Oh, yeah, he does. Look at him. Look at him.
He should be the spokesman. Rolls in front. Bonity's quickly covers it before Payne could get a stick on it.
Just scrappy defense we've seen all game by both of these teams. That's why it's only 1-1. And they are really fighting for this win right now. Both teams don't want to give this up.
That's how the Shockers usually score those scrappy plays. That's how they rely on their goals. Puckers maybe a little bit more set up.
Just like we always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Look out, there's a chance. No, he couldn't get a shot away.
Great defense right there by the Puckers.
Sent down for Boss. Salamino will get there, and it's cleared out of the zone. Great Poulter. Goes to Dzinski. Into the middle, winding, shooting, blocked. Salamino. Usually likes to shoot it from there, but with a player right in front of him, passed it over. Backhand towards the net. Bonity's the save. A shot by Matt Zitlow. Again, one of the quicker players along with Mullen for the Shockers.
And Kondo will come back onto the floor for the Puckers after getting a little breather.
5:27 to play. First sudden death overtime period. Game knotted at 1.
Big crowd over by the Shockers net right now, watching this sudden death overtime.
That's more than has shown up to the Hartford Yard Goats games in Norwich.
Wow, you had to get a shot in there, huh?
Well,
after they just fired the contractor. Who saw that one coming?
And Sarah. Here's Dennis Bolton. Dennis on the left wing side. Dennis, bodied by Michael Eck.
Oh, he's going to feel that one.
Penalty coming up. It is a penalty on the Shockers, I believe. Or will it be both?
Bolter's going to feel that one in the morning, Dean.
Let's see. Trying to work out the... So it looks like both of them.
First for the check and then probably for a little retaliation after it. So we'll go to 4-on-4 here.
Actually, I think there's going to be an extra minor put up. If I'm hearing correctly down there, they may give an extra minute penalty. It's 2 minutes, yes, against the Shockers, Michael Eck, and 1 minute on the other side. So they will start 5-on-4. And I believe both players. Both of the players have to remain in there coincidentally for 1 minute, and the player serving the minor can come out at the conclusion of the minute and not wait for a whistle. Duncan, the shot, rebound! Oh, just wide. Right in front, great opportunity, slapper! Condell right there, you don't see him miss that too often.
This is a great opportunity for the Puckers right now with an advantage.
Walking in front, again, went into the corner. As it was, Chapman got a piece. And I'm surprised that wasn't a whistle there. He clearly grabbed onto it and threw it.
That was a throw. That was a throw.
So.
Threw a curveball there, Dean.
Let's see. So the question is it another penalty? Or is it just he's in the box? Yeah, Venditti says delay of game. And Salamino is going to have to serve that. So now it's a 5-on-3 in OT.
And as he walked to the penalty box, you saw him give a little shrug like, I did it.
Duncan will slap. He scores! Aaron Duncan!
And there it is.
Quick. There. Winner. Clearly, the Shockers feel that the referees played a part in this with that. But Duncan, the slapper, scores low on Chapman, and with 4:35 left in Sunday overtime, the KnucklePuckers are the F2 Division champions in just their second season of action. The Shockers' triumphant run through the finals ends with a 2-game sweep. So we are back, and again, what a great game we had here tonight. It went back and forth as we expected. We expected a low-scoring affair. We said from the outset the Shockers have to keep it low-scoring if they want an opportunity to win this game. It's everything that we expected. Great opportunities at both ends. Tough to give the Puckers a 2-man advantage when they were out shooting you by double at the end.
It's true, too, but it came down to goal play. A lot of good goaltending in this game by both teams, and like you said, it came down to that one point where it was a 5-on-3 advantage, and when you give the Puckers that kind of advantage, they're going to capitalize on it.
It was either going to be a scrappy goal, likely for the Shockers, or, a hard-working set play type of goal, which the Puckers have had all season, and that one was set right off the face-off, back to Duncan. Man goes to the front of the net, sets a screen, slap shot, score. I don't even know, to be honest with you, if Chapman had much of a look at it. It was a great shot. If he even saw it, he didn't have much time to react.
And a one shot meant an F2 championship.
And that will do it here. But in terms of the Shockers, their regular season, I think they'll probably be the first to admit, was probably forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes.
However, you got to think they're always going to remember this playoff.
Oh, they will. Making that playoff run, getting to the finals. Like you said, they maybe think the refs played a little part into it, but that's how hockey goes sometimes.
And particularly Mr. Chapman, he's had strong games during the regular season, but this was like a coming-out show for him in terms of how well he played when it mattered. You can play regular season games well. I mentioned his regular season record. It wasn't good, but neither was the team's. However, 97 of 98 through the first 2 rounds to get him here, and then only allowing 2 goals on over 50 shots. You can't do much better than that, win or lose.
No, you cannot. And like we said, he had a fantastic game. Like you said, had an 88 save percentage during the regular season, saved all those shots in the first 2 rounds. He had a great game, but it came down to the penalties killed him at the end, and a 5-on-3 advantage. Even some NHL goalies can't even handle that.
And finishing, again, for the Puckers, to be where they're at in just the second season after the season they had the first season, which was 3-7 and tied for last, and to come to this point now to win a championship in just your second season speaks volumes about what Mitch and Saro and that team has been able to accomplish in just 20 games together.
And you haven't heard about a lot of teams coming back from going dead last to first. You've heard some major league teams, but like you said, great job redoing this roster, getting the right players, playing at the right moment. And you got to give them a big congratulations and a good applause for coming back and winning this championship this year.
So, again, congratulations to them on finishing the deal in 2 games tonight. But congrats to the Shockers on a really unprecedented and unexpected playoff run to get this far. So, that's going to wrap it up from here from Plainville Indoor Sports Arena. Again, for Alex Gerber and Justin Cowett, who really do the hard work. As much as we joke with them, they do the hard work behind the camera. We just have to talk.
Yes.
So, again, for Pat Higgins, I'm Dean Cornelio. Good night from Plainville Indoor Sports Arena. Once again, the final F2 champions of the KnucklePuckers, 2-1, sudden death overtime. Good night, everybody.
Backhands across for Hurth. He's got Cap on him. Sends it back for Driscoll. He's got Ricciardi on him. And that's intercepted here. Tyler Salkins with the shot. He scores! Tyler Salkins intercepting the pass. The Bruins a little bit nonchalant as they passed it back and forth between the points deep. It was picked up by Salkins. He took the wrist shot. He was leaning to his right. He aimed to his left, top left corner. And this series will go to 3 games.